Have you ever wondered why ancient miracles seem so distant from our world of smartphones and social media? Maybe you've asked yourself if those stories of supernatural power could possibly matter in an age of artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Well, what if I told you that the same power that calmed ancient storms is exactly what we need to navigate our digital chaos? Today, I'm going to show you how 3 mind-blowing miracles from 2,000 years ago are more relevant to your life than your latest app update. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how an ancient storm calming technique can help you handle your social media meltdowns. Why a 2,000-year-old healing story holds the key to breaking free from digital isolation. The surprising connection between biblical miracles and our modern tech struggles. And stick around until the end, because I'm giving away a free comprehensive guide that will help you apply these timeless principles to your modern challenges. Imagine this trending on your weather app. Unprecedented storm hits. Galilee, eyewitnesses report miraculous calm. Let me set the scene for you, and I promise it's better than any viral video you've watched today. Picture Jesus, who's just wrapped up what we'd call a mega viral TED Talk. We're talking stadium-level crowds hanging on his every word. Probably would have broken all streaming records if they'd had them back then. He's completely drained, running on empty like your phone at 1% battery. He makes a call that any burnout millennial would understand. Let's get some downtime, cross the lake. They hop into what's basically the ancient equivalent of a small yacht. Nothing fancy, just your standard fishing boat that's seen its share of waves. Jesus finds a spot in the back, probably using someone's jacket as a makeshift pillow. Totally relatable for anyone who's ever crashed during their lunch break, and enters what we'd call do not disturb mode. His disciples, these experienced fishermen, think seasoned maritime professionals with years of 5-star reviews, are just chilling, probably doing the ancient equivalent of debriefing about their latest viral moments. Then, faster than a trending topic can explode on Twitter, everything goes sideways. We're not talking about your average bad weather alert. Imagine every natural disaster app on your phone going off simultaneously. The wind's howling like your notifications during a social media meltdown, and waves are crashing over the boat like a DDoS attack on a website. These tough, experienced sailors start panic scrolling through their mental emergency protocols, but nothing's working. Water's flooding in faster than spam in an unprotected email account. The situation's gone from slight turbulence to system crash in seconds. Here's where it gets wild. The disciples, probably feeling like someone whose cloud backup just failed during a critical presentation, decide to wake Jesus up. And get this, he's still in deep sleep mode, like someone who's muted all their notifications during a digital detox. They're literally shouting, "Lord, save us! We're about to become a tragic trending topic here." Jesus opens his eyes, and this is where you'd expect the buffering symbol to appear. But nope. He stands up, looking like the calmest person ever to face a natural disaster. No checking weather apps, no emergency protocols. He simply speaks to the storm like he's moderating a chaotic comment section. Quiet, be still. If this were a YouTube video, this would be the moment everyone would be commenting. Wait for it. Because what happens next is pure, not mind-blowing. The wind just stops. The waves flatten out like someone hit the pause button on nature itself. We're talking instant transformation from chaos to calm, like when your web page finally loads after clearing the cache. The disciples' reaction? Pure shocked emoji face. They're looking around like someone who just watched their glitchy app suddenly start working perfectly. You can almost hear them whispering, "Who is this guy who has admin privileges over the weather itself?" Modern life check-in. Let's pause and think about our own storms. Maybe yours isn't about literal waves and wind. Perhaps it's the tsunami of deadlines at work, the hurricane of a relationship crisis, the perfect storm of student loans, rent increases, and inflation, the thunderous anxiety about climate change and global uncertainty, the tempest of trying to maintain mental health in a 24/7 connected world. The message here isn't just about Jesus controlling the weather. It's about finding peace in our modern chaos. When your life feels like a system crash waiting to happen, remember, the same power that calmed the sea can bring peace to your internal storm. Get ready for a story that would definitely be flagged as sensitive content in Jesus' time. It's about someone who society had completely shadow banned, a person with leprosy. But let's translate this to our modern context, because this story hits different when you realize how it parallels our own social media age. In today's world, instead of leprosy, think about all the things that make people social outcasts. Mental health struggles that nobody wants to talk about on their perfectly curated feeds, addiction issues that get you quietly unfollowed, homelessness that makes people swipe past you like an unwanted ad, criminal records that make you undateable on every app, chronic illnesses that don't make for good Instagram stories, social anxiety that keeps you from joining the group chat. Back then, having leprosy was like getting permanently deleted from society's platform. No DMs, no likes, no connections, total social isolation. Imagine having to shout unclean everywhere you went. It's like having a permanent negative rating visible to everyone you meet. But here comes this person who's hit rock bottom on society's social credit system. They've probably heard about Jesus through the ancient equivalent of viral videos, stories spreading from village to village about this teacher who does the impossible. In what would today be called a massive breach of social distancing protocols, they approach Jesus. Picture the crowd's reaction. They're backing away faster than users abandoning a problematic platform. You can almost hear the ancient equivalent of angry tweets and negative comments rising from the crowd. But this person? They're done with society's algorithms. They approach Jesus with what might be the most authentic, unfiltered content ever. Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. No hashtags, no filters, no carefully crafted story, just raw, desperate hope. Now here's where Jesus does something that would definitely trend worldwide. Instead of maintaining a safe distance, like any verified blue checkmark account would, he reaches out and touches the untouchable. In today's terms, imagine the most influential person in the world stopping their live stream to embrace someone society has canceled. With a simple touch and the words, "I am willing," complete restoration happens. We're talking about the ultimate recovery story, from shadow banned to verified in seconds. This isn't just a physical healing, it's a complete restoration of human dignity. Real talk for today. Who are we quietly unfollowing in our lives? What makes us scroll past certain people? How often do we let society's algorithms determine who's worthy of our attention? When was the last time we reached out to touch, metaphorically or literally, someone who society has deemed untouchable? Okay, picture this, going viral on social media. Friends break through roof to get paralyzed. Man to Jesus. What happens next will blow your mind. This isn't clickbait. It's an actual event that would have broken the internet if it happened today. The scene: Jesus is doing what we'd call a packed house show. We're talking standing room only. Probably would have violated modern fire codes. The religious influencers have somehow snagged all the VIP spots. You know how that goes. And they're sitting there with their best "we're here to evaluate this" faces on. Then suddenly, plot twist, the ceiling starts coming apart. The crowd's reaction would have made an epic TikTok. Heads turning, gasps, probably some premium content-worthy reactions. Through this DIY skylight, 4 friends are lowering their paralyzed buddy down on what's basically an ancient stretcher. Talk about thinking outside the box, or in this case, literally through the roof. Let's appreciate these friends for a second. They didn't let the venue is at capacity stop them. They didn't accept "there's no way" as an answer. They were willing to risk property damage charges for their friend. They believed in their mission impossible enough to make it possible. But here's where Jesus drops what we'd call a massive plot twist. Instead of jumping straight into physical healing, which everyone's phones would have been ready to record, he says something that would have definitely triggered the religious content moderators. Your sins are forgiven. The religious experts start having what we'd call a major offline meltdown. In their heads, they're drafting strongly worded threads about blasphemy. Who does this guy think he is? That's God-level authority he's claiming. Jesus, reading the room like a pro social media manager during a crisis, calls out their mental subtweets. He hits them with this question that would make a perfect debate starter. What's easier, saying, "Your sins are forgiven," or "Get up and walk"? Then, to prove he's got the verified checkmark of divine authority, he tells the man to pick up his mat and walk. Spoiler alert. My man doesn't just walk. He gets up and walks out like he's never missed a leg day in his life. The crowd goes absolutely wild, like when your post hits the Explore page and explodes. Even the critics are left on red. Modern application check. What's really paralyzing us today? Is it physical limitations? Or is it something deeper? The paralysis of perfectionism in a highlight reel world. The frozen state of anxiety about the future. The inability to move forward because of past traumas? The paralysis of analysis in a world of endless options? Throughout history, miracles have been recorded and passed down through generations. But, these extraordinary events aren't just relics of the past. In our modern world, we continue to witness incredible stories that defy explanation. Sarah's story, the medical miracle. Sarah's oncologist had given her the kind of news that makes your world stop. Terminal cancer, months to live. Traditional treatments weren't working. Her story got shared in her online support group, and people worldwide started praying. Pray for Sarah started trending in her local community. Fast forward to her next scan, and her doctors are staring at the results like someone looking at a glitched image. No trace of cancer. None. They ran the tests multiple times, thinking their equipment needed debugging. But nope, she was completely cancer-free. Shocker unexplainable. Marcus's recovery. The liberation story. Marcus was trapped in what he calls the dark web of addiction. His life was a continuous loop of bad decisions and worse consequences. His story could have ended as another tragic statistic, but one night, doom-scrolling at rock bottom, he sent up what he calls his last desperate DM to God. Something shifted that night. The addiction that had been force-quitting all his attempts at recovery suddenly lost its admin privileges over his life. Today, he runs a successful non-profit. His TikTok channel about recovery inspiration has millions of followers, and he's become the kind of success story that makes you believe in second chances. The community miracle. When virtual becomes reality. Remember that small church that was about to shut down due to financial issues? Their story got shared on local social media. Within weeks, what started as a local crowdfunding attempt went viral. But it wasn't just about the money. People started showing up, volunteering, bringing new life to the community. A dying church became a thriving community hub. These stories aren't just content for your spiritual feed, they're invitations to experience something revolutionary in your own life. Think of it as the ultimate app update for your soul. Whether you're feeling shadow banned by society, stuck in an endless loading screen of anxiety, trying to debug your life's problems, looking for an upgrade to your current situation, seeking to restore your corrupted hope files. The invitation is clear. No premium subscription needed, no verification required. Just come as you are. Remember, the same Jesus who had better control than any storm tracking system, touched those society wanted to block, debugged paralysis with a simple command, fixed what seemed permanently broken. He's still in the miracle business today. Not bound by ancient manuscripts or religious firewalls, he's as present and powerful as ever, ready to rewrite your story. Final thought. What's stopping you from experiencing your own miracle? Is it the firewall of doubt, the spam folder of past disappointments, the privacy settings of fear, the blocked notifications of skepticism? Sometimes the biggest miracle isn't in the physical change, but in daring to believe that change is possible. Maybe it's time to open that door, send that prayer request, or take that leap of faith.